Welcome aboard Flight 103. This is Dr. Thompson, your captain, speaking from the flight deck. We are currently first in line for takeoff. We ask that you please fasten your seatbelts for our first-class conversation today on nurturing future professionals. We will be cruising with one of our dedicated assistant principals, Mr. Pitsakis, and a very talented career tech teacher, Mr. Spencer Engel. The skies are clear, and we will have a great view of our future as we ascend together. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation from our dedicated cabin crew. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and welcome aboard. Before I introduce our cabin crew today, I want to take the opportunity to offer a little in-flight entertainment with a quick story. Once upon a time, in a vast mountain range, a wise eagle soared high above the peaks, watching over the valley below. One day, she noticed a young eagle struggling to take flight. The young eagle flapped his wings frantically, but only managed to glide awkwardly before crashing back to the ground. The wise eagle flew down beside him and said, "Young one, you have great potential, but you need to learn to trust your wings. Allow me to guide you." Eager but unsure, the young eagle listened as the old eagle taught him that the art of flying, how to find the right wind currents, and how to build his strength through practice. Days turned into weeks, and the young eagle honed his skills under the watchful eye of his mentor. One stormy afternoon, the young eagle faced his greatest challenge. Dark clouds loomed and fierce winds whipped through the mountains. He hesitated, remembering the fears that had once grounded him, but with a deep breath, he recalled the old eagle's teachings. "Trust your wings," the old eagle echoed in his mind. With determination, the young eagle launched himself into the storm. Riding the wind, he soared higher than he had even thought possible, feeling the exhilaration of true freedom. When the storm passed, he landed gracefully beside the old eagle, who watched with pride. "You have learned well," she said, smiling. "Nurturing your spirit allowed you to discover your strength." From that day on, the young eagle became a mentor himself, guiding other fledglings and sharing the wisdom he gained. Together, they soared into new horizons, knowing that in nurturing one another, they all grew stronger. So let's bring in some wise eagles to nurture our spirit. Joining me once again on the flight deck is our fabulous 11th grade assistant principal, Mr. Tony Pitsakis, and also joining us is a career tech department educator, Mr. Spencer Engel. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
We are talking today about nurturing future professionals, and our career educators here at George Washington are excellent resources who provide practical experiences, mentorship, and industry connections. Thank you for all flying with us today. Before we hear from Mr. Engel, let's hear from Mr. Pitsakis first, who oversees our CTE department. Mr. Pitsakis, please give us, our listeners, the flight plan of our CTE department and its offerings.
Wow. So we offer so much here at Washington, and part of that is our career and technical education programs. We have culinary, where students learn how to cook, they learn how to follow recipes, they learn how to work in the kitchen, they learn sanitation, they learn, it's a lot of science and math, but also food. I call it food science, right? We have computer programming. This is our newest addition to our CTE programs. Students learn all about coding. They learn, applications for computers. I mean, with the rise of AI, it's going to be very, very important to have these skills, and we have it here at Washington. We have our accounting program, and Mr. Engel, who's going to touch on that in a little bit. Students learn, they get trained in IRS taxes, doing taxes, doing QuickBooks, learning the ins and outs of accounting. And our sports marketing, our sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship class, where students learn how to run a business. And, there's a lot of skills that are transferable to our lives, our personal lives. So there's just so much you can learn at George Washington for CTE, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
Thank you, Mr. Pitsakis. I am so proud of our entire CTE department. For 3 consecutive years, we've had 90% or better on NOCTI exams, which means that our educators are top-notch. We have Mr. Engel here. Welcome again. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the CTE program?
Sure. Very briefly, well, again, great to be here. I have a background in business, accounting, operations, and banking. This was all before I started in working in schools in 2003. I do have an extensive experience in education. I've taught every grade, kindergarten through 12th, and was a guest lecturer a number of times in a couple of different colleges. Department head, career advisor, and everything in between. I really enjoy what I do. I have the greatest teammate in Chris Brown. And we have a great group of students that are, all very much hands-on. They love to collaborate with each other, and we're going to see some incredible productivity and results this year.
Great, thank you so much for that. Can you gentlemen kind of speak to the term soft skills and what that means and how you integrate that into the CTE program to help our students be successful?
A couple of things that I noted that are highly demanded skills as, in the 21st century. One, it's imperative that everyone becomes a team player. They know how to work well with other people. They understand their strengths, their weaknesses. They kind of feed off of each other. They help each other work towards goals. And that the skill of being versatile is also becoming very important. Understanding, again, your strengths and weaknesses. Another skill that's becoming incredibly important that I think really should be taught more in schools is project management. Getting to understand the ins and outs of, again, working with a team. This also coincides with software such as Monday and Asana. That could be everything from working towards a goal, managing the different aspects of a project, learning to work within a budget, again a little more on the business side, but every aspect of working within a team, reaching a particular goal, and monitoring productivity goes into that. What's immensely helped me, not just in my professional life, but personal life, is I think it's imperative that students really get an understanding of people's personalities. A lot of times we seek to understand a situation that's going on, and most of the time it involves other people, but we work with so many different types of personalities, and I feel that if we understand each other a little better, where they're coming from, their point of view, it helps immensely. That's helped me quite a bit, both on the business side and in my personal life. Also, for our students, have a switch in your brain where you can quickly adapt to different environments, such as as I told Tony in the past, we see the best in our students when we're on trips. They go into offices, we go to different colleges, and we blow the professors, the industry professionals away. And they said, "What are you doing with these students?" I said, I have very little to do with this, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we give them some basic skills, but we're just so impressed that when they step up to the plate, and we really see the best from our students when they're forced to be in a professional environment, whether it be Deloitte or something with IRS or Jefferson or Temple. Again, with Deloitte, I'm glad that they're back on board with us. Also, for students, it's very important to market yourself, in all, exuding confidence, poise, and assertiveness. Those students who generally perform well, like in competitions, whether it be DECA or Skills USA, they come off with a demeanor, They have poise, they have confidence. We've seen this with Natalie, with Nelson and Jumbo, and a number of other students who have gone on to be, done very successful. And many people make mistakes, but again, learn from those mistakes and learn how that can make you a better person. Make sure you're listening and understanding, and As an instructor, I do that all the time. I get an idea, get to know my students, get to know their strengths, some of their deficiencies, and how we can best cater to their needs. Go ahead.
Excellent. That sounds great. Mr. Bitsakis, can you to speak to any challenges that you see teachers have in preparing students for the various CTE programs, or any gaps, or what do you think's happening that's making it an amazing program with 90% or better for 3 consecutive years?
Well, first and foremost, we have great students here at George Washington High School who are eager to learn, and they take the opportunities that are given to them from our wonderful staff and our school district. So kudos to the students. We're not the ones taking the test. The students are taking the tests. They're passing the tests. They're earning the certifications. So that's the first thing. We have a great batches or great cohorts of students every year in our CTE programs and at George Washington. Second is our great teachers. CTE teachers are a little different than regular gen ed teachers because they come from industry. We have 2 chefs who have worked at Michelin. I don't want to speak out of turn, but they've worked at very, very good restaurants and country clubs and cooked for presidents and cooked for very famous people. So our chefs, our culinary department's great. Mr. Engel just went over his background and how he has all that experience in industry. Mr. Beatrice has experience. Ms. Lamper has experience. So our wonderful teachers really give the students the opportunity, and the students are running with it. Then we have the opportunity.
Don't forget that Mr. Brown.
Yes,
you
Mr.
Can't forget Mr. Brown.
Listen,
Don't miss
Mr.
him.
Brown. Mr. Brown is such a wonderful addition to our program. When I first started as administrator of the accounting program, we had 5 students, I think, Mr. Engel, in our seniors. Now we're up to 13, 17, 24. Our junior class is 23 students, right? So we're pretty much full there, and that is a great testament to Mr. Engel and Mr. Brown, of course, our great accounting teacher.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. So you started to talk about industry partners. So CTE is a little bit different in the sense that the curriculum isn't necessarily made by the district. Can you talk a little bit about how you select and work with industry partners to ensure that what you're doing in the classroom matches what they expect in the field?
Absolutely. It's imperative that CTE teachers are following up with our OAC members, following up with industry leaders, business professionals, taking their advice, understanding what the demands are. That's really what it all comes down to, getting an understanding of what the demands are for particular jobs in our respective fields, bringing that back into the classroom, having students practice, giving them real-world situations, a lot of modeling, practicing of those situations, and also providing students with different opportunities and experiences to go out and a lot of hands-on experiences applying those different skills that are in demand at that time.
Yeah, and our OAC members, they are, and our letters of support come from organizations who are potential employers of our students after they go through the program. So everyone has a say as into what we teach and how we teach it, what resources, and we have time to meet with these wonderful organizations and companies, and they help us with our program.
So that's great to hear, because the curriculum is always changing to meet the current demands, and demands change as time goes on. Do you guys see any trends in business, marketing, accounting, even computer science that help children adapt to their futures?
I see, in terms of the economy, a lot of students will be entering more of the gig economy, as they call it. I see a lot more students becoming entrepreneurs for themselves. As we know, the job market right now, there's a lot of instability, uncertainty, to say the least. And I think it presents a tremendous opportunity for our students to kind of see where their passions are, where their skills are, and to get an understanding of where their best fit is, also get an understanding of international markets. What may not work in the United States, there may be some great demand in other countries, and with the internet, it's all possible. Also, AI will continue to be a tremendous factor. As long as our students understand how they can leverage the technology and utilize the technology, we're not looking at it in terms of just replacing the work, but my wife's a prime example of the way that she's been able to utilize AI, and it's made her work more efficient, and she's become more productive because of it. Yeah, it's just, you have to be flexible and patient in this economy. It's we're riding like a hurricane, I think, and hopefully things settle down, but you got to be flexible, got to be patient, and keep building your skills so that you can use those skills to kind of, if you need to kind of jump around a little bit to fit those skills in other areas. It's great to be specialized. Absolutely, you want to create a niche for yourself, but also as much as possible while you're in that field, get more certifications, get more knowledge, get more experience as much as possible. So if as time may call for it, you can easily transfer into another field if necessary.
So, Mr. Engel, you brought up being a good team player. Can you expand on that and talk about how building strong relationships and being resilient is helpful?
It's imperative that you understand that when you are working within a team in pretty much any career you're going to be in, you are going to have to work with other people and other personalities, which can vary greatly. But you have to understand the ways that you can leverage each person's talents and understand that there is one goal in mind, that you are all on the same page. And as long as progress is monitored, progress is tracked, and that there's clear communication, this is, again, a team effort, a group project, but again, you are working, you need to understand that you're working with other people and that you have one goal, there is one mission, and whatever it takes to get there, and just give 110%. Don't, at any point pass the buck onto somebody else, and any issues or questions you have, address it with your team leader and your teammates.
Great. So you talked about leveraging people's strengths and working within the mission and the vision and staying aligned to that. Mm-hmm. Mr. Bitsakis, do you have any other skills that you think are important when you're considering how to work in a team and building stronger relationships?
I think that, yes, it's important to leverage strengths, but it's also equally important to, within a team, to each of us being a teacher as well. So we're good at this skill. Let me show you how I do it. Let me show you how to strengthen that skill in yourself. And team members should also be good students and good learners, and take the opportunity to learn from people who are better. And you know what? There's no shame in admitting that someone is better at something than you are. I always try to surround myself with people that are better than me so I can improve. And in my personal life and in my business and in professional life. So I think those are very, very important skills. Learn to be a listener, learn to be a teacher, and be part of that group dynamic.
Thank you for that, Mr. Bitsakis. I would say as the lead learner in this building, I too believe that you need to be able to be taught and to be able to teach. I appreciate and value that insight.
Hola, I'm Profe Pacheco. Checo, I am thankful for my 20 years at Washington, where I have grown and contributed to this community. Above all, I am thankful for the wonderful people and the great memories of students achieving the highest. Seeing some of them return as educators and leaders is truly amazing. Finally, I am very grateful to Principal Thompson for taking the lead 10 years ago when the boat was sinking, showing us a strong direction and personal support.
This is Mr. Everhart. I am thankful at GW for our positive coworkers and our diversity of students.
Hi, this is Mr. Camp, and I would like to say that I'm thankful for the best department in the school, the social studies department. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hello, this is Chef Beck from George Washington High School. We're here today, and we're going to be talking some Taiki. And I'm here with Paris Waters, one of my excellent senior students.
And favorite.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, one of his
She always
favorites.
makes me laugh. And we're going to talk some traditions and some food, and also I see that Paris has this little thing on the table here, and I want you to tell me about it. It's like a little bowl that when you hit it with like your little stick, it makes like a noise. What is it? Can you demonstrate?
Yes, I can. It's called a sound bowl, and they're usually from Tibet or South Africa, and typically they're made of brass or usually brass or maybe like alloy, but it's very nice and common actually. When you hit it with, it's like almost a mallet, a wooden mallet, it makes vibrations and it makes a really beautiful noise, and the vibrations just bounce off the side of the bowl. And usually it's used for cleansing energy or just bringing new energy into a space. So sometimes I bring it to school, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I just feel like I need the vibrations with me. So I'm just gonna show you how it works a little bit so y'all can listen to it.
I'm feeling that positive energy already.
Are you feeling
This
it?
is great. Yeah. Well, when I'm around you, I really feel like a lot of positivity, and we have good conversations. We laugh, and that's what it's all about in the culinary. We get students who really want to be there, and they really like being in that environment. Like always something going on, lots of food, fun times. But I wanted to ask you about your traditions in Thanksgiving, whether or not you guys, meet up for Thanksgiving, and what are some of the things you guys do. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I do as well when you're finished.
Of course. Of course. So me personally, I've never had a big family. So growing up, it was, I wouldn't say 6 people at the dinner table. So there was, of course, still tons of food, but, not a lot of people. So I never really understood the family aspect of Thanksgiving because I never had a big one. But we usually eat turkey, collard greens, mac and cheese, biscuits are a must. Sometimes string beans, yams, and last year it was really good. My mom made duck, actually. It was
that sounds yummy.
It was really nice, really crispy.
Well, you could set another spot at the table for me, because that duck's good. It's got me. I love duck.
And it was different. I think that was the first time I've ever tried duck. And I'm usually a picky eater, so I don't do well with new things. But what does your family usually make on Thanksgiving?
Well, funny you should ask. In my days when my son was still at home, right now he's in Japan and he's in the Army. And when he was home, we would always have a very big, Thanksgiving dinner, because I have a very large family. Between my ex-wife and myself, we had a very large family. And one of the most memorable ones was there were 64 people. and we invited anybody and everybody, and it was just amazing. You know, people from all different parts of the state, you know, and our families pretty much scattered over PA and also Jersey. But everybody was required to bring something, but I handled most of it. And of course we had turkey. We have some family members who are kosher, so they have to bring kosher foods, which, you know, pretty much anybody could eat. It's just, you know, it's how it's prepared. And, you know, tons of desserts and lots of chatter and wine and all kinds of, you know, happy moments, lots of pictures. And I really missed that. But this year I'm going to spend it with my girlfriend and her family, so kind of similar, but like on a lower scale. So I really look forward to this holiday. My mother passed away actually on Thanksgiving, and you know, it's very special to me, this holiday. You know, I still feel her presence during this holiday, and you know, it's really something that will always be in my DNA to like feed people during this holiday. And it's a happy day. You know, my mother would have wanted it that way, and I keep the tradition going.
Of course. Speaking of food, I want to ask you, because I'm thinking about it right now. We didn't really mention any of the desserts that we eat, and I want to say that my favorite Thanksgiving food is deviled eggs. That is my all-time favorite. Put 16 on my plate. I'm eating 16 now. I'm eating 16 later. Make them for me. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
My favorite is stuffing. I love stuffing. And I mean, it's not to say that I don't like turkey, but I also like lamb as well. And it's something that we don't always put on there, you know, because it's expensive. But, you know, I'm a big turkey guy. I like dark meat. I like stuffing with gravy, and I really like cranberry sauce a lot too.
What about desserts?
Oh, desserts. I like cheesecake. It's really good. I love rice pudding. Sometimes we have rice pudding on the menu. I'm the one that has to make it, so nobody else will. But I like rice pudding, and I also like coconut custard pie. That's my favorite pie in the whole world. So if somebody brings that, it makes my day. You know, I love coconut custard pie. Yeah.
I think my favorite would be my grandma. She makes this really good, I think it's a triple chocolate cake. Is this really moist, decadent chocolate cake with this inside just
You're
flowing.
making me hungry.
It's so good, and it's not too sweet either. I don't know you know, when grandmas are in the kitchen, they
tell you to get out.
Yeah, I don't know what she does to that cake. But
a little this, little that.
Yeah, like when
stick her foot in there a little bit, you know, twirl her toes around.
When she leaves, I'm gonna be so upset because she's not giving anybody the recipe.
Nobody's getting the secrets,
no,
huh?
Nobody's getting her secret recipe.
That's why you got to attach yourself to her apron string.
I gotta attach myself to her hip if I want to get that recipe. She's hiding that chocolate cake with her life.
Yeah, we speaking of traditions as well, like. We've had a tradition here at George Washington where every year we prepare a turkey luncheon. The students are very much involved with like the preparation and you know all the you know the different selections that we do for our faculty.
I was there.
Yeah, I know you were. You were there big time. You know, and like what we'd like to do is put together a nice meal for them because they work hard. And then at the end, we all eat like as a family in the kitchen, the students. But this year we had a lot of really neat things. We had prime rib, we have turkey, you know, we had stuffing, we had roasted potatoes, we had sweet potatoes,
mixed veggies.
Yeah, we had mixed veggies.
We had rolls.
We had rolls.
Amazing rolls. Oh my gosh.
Japanese milk bread we made, and we also made zucchini muffins.
And don't forget about
with the giggle spice, the secret spice on top.
Yeah, the secret spice.
That'll be our secret. So we had that. That was a lot of fun. And then we also had pumpkin pie. Chef Robin, our other culinary arts instructor, she made pumpkin pie and brownies and cookies. And she also made
cheesecake bites, lemon squares,
which were outstanding. I love lemon squares. So, you know, the foods here we prepare are all from scratch, and they taste really good. And everybody's very, very happy with, you know, what we prepare each year. and there's a lot of chatter. Everybody's like hugging and everybody's like having a good time. I had a student come in from last year that did the carving of the turkey. He's a culinary student at CCP, and he was kind enough to come in wearing a chef coat and slicing turkey like nice and thin, serving like some a little bit of gravy. Actually, he carved the meat, and Kamaya Durham, she carved the turkey. So it was really excuse me, a good year this year, and we served around about 100 people, which was nice, and I like when we all get together and we serve and everybody's very happy. If food brings people together, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I want to say that being in culinary so far the past 2 years, it's given me a whole different outlook on the kitchen and what food can be. Like, it could be so many different things, how we make something out of nothing, and always ceases to amaze me. It's incredible. And
Give me a high five.
And I am happy because food does bring everybody together. I feel like it's nothing better than when everybody was on their feet 2 hours straight. We finally get to see what we made, and we finally get to taste it, and we can say that it's like something we never had before. Like, I don't think there's anything better
Harris,
than
I
that.
never saw this side of you. Harris, like when I first had you as a student this year, I mean, last year we saw each other, we said hello. This year I have a new respect for you. I think you're like one of the better students in the class. We have a lot of really good students, but you're culinarily sound, and I like your opinion. And sometimes you're a little harsh, but sometimes the truth hurts. And with regards to taste and other things that we do, I always respect your opinion about all the foods that we prepare in culinary. And Chef Robin has told me the same thing about you, that you're one of our top students, that always you always bring your A game, and you're always willing to do anything we ask you, and you'll come to me and say, Chef, that person's not wearing a hairnet, or Chef, they're not doing the right thing. You got to stop them. And I really respect that about you, and I'm really happy that you're in the class and we've made a connection. And I hope that that if you ever need anything from me, like a letter of recommendation, or I'm here for you. And I like having you in the class.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been the tear. It's one tear, happiness tear coming down right now. I want to say that my time here, it was well spent. Most of these people around me, they feel like family, and I'm okay spending my time with them. I'm okay being around them. I feel like it's always worthwhile, and I think I'm gonna be a little bit sad when I leave because, I've just grown so happy and
You're
so
getting
attached
a little
to you.
sentimental on me, girl.
A little bit, because it's my last year, and I've just grown a little bit attached to you guys. And
I got to tell you about a little story today. I came back from a trip, and I was at my desk, and I heard things about a certain student that, people were like a little bit afraid of him, or he was to himself and this and that. And I kind of broke through to him. And I'm sitting at my desk, and who walks in? This student. And he gives me a letter, right? And he walks out real humble, he walked out, right? And I'm looking at the letter, I open the letter, and it's, I almost cried. It was it made my day, because he thanked me for telling him that there's more to the kitchen than a 3-pot sink, which I'm really happy that I have that, relationship with him. I want him to do more than that. I don't think I don't like when people think that, hey, I wash pots, great. I mean, it's one thing to do that, but there's other things that, I feel as though that you need to do, learn how to, work on the stove, learn how to use a knife properly, cut vegetables, cook a sauce, and this letter was, I almost cried when I read it. And he said, and this made me laugh, he said that I got a grade for it, right, for this letter, but I really meant it. You know what? It made me laugh. It was like a bittersweet. I made me laugh and cry at the same time almost. But I was really happy that I got through to him, you know, and I wanted him to know that, you know, I really want him to do more than just, you know, clean pots. You know, he's better than that. And lately he's been doing really a great job. You know, I don't know if I could say the person's name, if I'm able to.
We know who you're talking about.
You know,
Yeah.
Edwin DeGere, right? He's the student I'm speaking about. He's really he's a team player, and I really enjoy having him in the class. So he really has changed me, like, you know, just making me feel like I feel better about myself having to, you know, put him in the right mind, and you know, he's doing a lot. I really like that.
I'm really happy that you can see the impact that you have on students, because this is what a teacher is supposed to be here for, not teaching us what we need to know for the class, but teaching us other things that we could carry with us into our real lives outside of school. Like, I don't think there's anything that I love more in the world than a teacher who actually cares about their students and that actually wants to see them learn, not give them a grade to pass, teach them so they can learn. Forget about the grade. What are we really here for?
That's said beautifully, and I think Miss Thompson, Dr. Thompson, our principal, would concur. And you know, I feel the same way. Like, I know that there's students that are really trying, and you know, sometimes they're a little bit afraid, you know, that they don't want to make a mistake, but that's all a part of learning, and I understand that. And I don't typically, you know, I all of my students pass. You know, I think that it's detrimental to the fact that, you know, like, it doesn't make sense for somebody to if they come every day and they try, then that's good enough for me. So, you know, I'm very happy here at George Washington, and every year there's another student that when they leave, I almost can't watch the graduation because it makes me a little bit like, you know, emotional. And, you know, I really am going to miss certain students each year. Like, it's just one of those things. And, you know, I just want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving, and I'm very thankful for having you as a student.
Of course.
And I'm thankful for my job and my colleagues here. And, you know, I hope that, you know, we all have health and success, and we go on to bigger and better things for another year in this school. So.
Okay, I just want to say thank you one more time for being a real teacher and letting us learn and giving us room to grow from our mistakes. You've never criticized me in a way that I haven't felt was necessary, and I can never say that you ever did anything out of anger. So I just want to take one more time to say how much I appreciate you being authentic and just being the person that you are, showing up for us in the ways that you do, and letting us know that you're here with us for and with whatever we need.
Well, thank you very much, Chef.
Thank you as well, Chef.
Remember, every great journey begins with a solid plan. I'm Dr. Thompson. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to our next flight together. Peace out.